G'day, ladies and gents, and welcome to the most illegal thing that you can do in War Thunder while still following the EULA. Yes, that's right, we're going to be flying the D5 Stuka again. Oh my god, this thing... There's something really special about the D5 Stuka that, I don't know, man, I can't really put a finger on it. It might just be, I don't know, fucking overwhelming frontal armament. It's probably one of the most outrageous planes in the entire game, without a shred of a doubt, and has a place in my heart as one of my favorites. It's just, I'll just let you see this with the footage. I can't just words cannot explain how much fun that this plane is. For me, the best bit about the D5 Stuka, it gets an air spawn. It has ridiculous frontal armament. It can turn with a lot of stuff, but for me, the absolute number one thing that makes the D5 Stuka stand out is it's a rank 2 at 3.3. You don't need to grind so far to the end of the world to get this plane. All you need to do is spend a few days from day one grinding and you will have the D5 Stuka. That's the best bit about it. So for those of you who may be looking for something to do during the space race to keep yourself occupied, or to keep your mind off the task, if you will, sort of break things down, and you don't have any planes in the German tech tree, or you don't have the D5 Stuka, grind it out. This is a vehicle that I just cannot recommend more, especially to new players. Now, sadly, it is a bomber, and it gets a maximum of 4 of them. So you can only run a 4-man squad. If it was classed as an attacker like it used to be, I would 100% have a whole team of D5 Stukas, and it would be absolutely hilarious. But on the flip side, that means it gets a bomber spawn now instead of an attacker spawn. So it's a bit different, but it's still the same core fun. If not, maybe turned up a notch. The D5, it really has pretty crappy performance, so let's be honest. It's basically the same plane, minus the armament, as the G2 Stuka, which sits at, I believe, 2.3 or 2.7. So, yeah, it essentially has, 2.0 performance. But the guns and the ability for it to handle low speeds quite well, it makes it a really fun plane to just fly out as an attacker, as a fighter, if you will. Now, one of the things that I still do in the D5 Stuka is climb. You may not get, 2,000 meters, 3,000 meters of climb. You might get 1.5, maybe. You might get, 500 meters. It kind of varies on the map, but this particular plane is just so juicy when you get those kills. It's excellent for handling those bombers that go to space as well. These things can often be quite frustrating, and if you can eliminate them within the first 2 minutes of the match, you do tend to have a lot better over time, unless of course you're looking at farming the time for operation of the space race. Anyway, first victim here is the MB157. No sir, those two MG151s aren't even going to converge anywhere near me. Yeah, sure, okay. B-34 Ventura, next target. I'm going to spray him down a little bit with the rear gunners, and he nicks my wing, which is a little bit annoying because I didn't expect that. And the B-34 is kind of good for its tier. I've never actually flown it, but I've come across it quite a lot in a few vehicles, and it surprised me with its capabilities. Speaking of capabilities, or lack thereof, the Beaufighter. The innocent little Bristol Beaufighter, a lovely little torpedo-carrying plane. Didn't stand a chance, man. He didn't stand a chance. Oh, it just feels so good to, do the War Thunder equivalent of seal clubbing. I suppose it is clubbing seals, because this P-39N, he's going to go vertical for me, and he stalls right out in front of my guns, and oh my god, you are not getting away from that. By the way, I am using stealth belts, and the reason why I use stealth is because otherwise they'll evade. And I don't want them to evade because I like juicy little head-ons like that, where they think, oh yeah, we're all good, and then 2 minutes later they get absolutely annihilated by, 6 MG151s. There's another one. That's 5 kills, by the way. Is it 5 kills? 5 kills? Something like that. We'll be seeing more of them later. This is just the most ridiculous fun that you can have in any plane in War Thunder, in my opinion. There's nothing that even comes close. It's kind of like seal clubbing, but it's not meta, and it's super fun, and it's also really balanced. Do you know what you want to do? If you're stuck with a Stuka, just don't go head on. Another thing that you can also do is rely on their crappy internet connection. I have been having a lot of problems with my internet, especially with everyone working from home and with everyone doing uni and stuff from home. It's pretty tough. And my mum told me today that they are actually laying NBN cables straight away. So I'm hoping so dearly that we get the NBN soon, and that would probably bring me back to streaming as well, which is why I've been absent from streaming. Regardless, back to the gameplay, and I get a critical hit on this little Hellcat here. I did do a video on the Hellcat, and it does have a really, really good ace up its sleeve, and that is turning. But when you crit, and when you're coming up against a D5 Stuka like that, it's really, really hard to... Let's face it, it's hard to do anything. I think I critted his engine here, but yeah, whole plane's gone there, Chief. That ain't gonna do much. So, who's next? Oh my god. Well, one thing that you do tend to find in the D5 Stuka is that your oil gets hit so often. About every second game, I will have my oil taken out, and that's the way that I die. Because the engine is so weak that it really, really just struggles without a proper coolant. And yeah, it's gonna be a little bit troubling for me to get back to base. But in the meantime, we have a J21A1 that decides committing the head-ons is a great idea. And so that's exactly what happens. That is kill number 7. And A6M2 might just make it kill number 8 here. Unfortunately, he's smarter than I thought he was, and he goes for the dive, and because I'm at such low speeds, I'm actually able to turn within his turning circle, which is remarkable for any plane, in fact, to turn with a 0. I go quickly for the Yak-1B, and I get him, and the A6M2 is next on the menu. I'm at 8 kills. I'm about to make this 9 if I can get this A6M2. I've only gotten 8 kills with one other plane, and that is the J21A2. So, the Stuka D5 and the J21A2 are up there as the planes that I've gotten 8 kills with. That's insane, man. That's absolutely insane. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure we lost that one, actually, because the rest of the team died and, like, 2 people shot down all the BB. I'm not really sure, actually, but I'll definitely assume that we lost that one. Anyway, on to the next one. What do you do when you haven't really got that absolute muppetry playing in your favor? So P38E here, he's playing a little bit into the muppetry, but he's got a couple of buddies with him, which makes it a little bit harder for me. Unfortunately for him, he's put himself into a sort of stall in front of me, and I'm just gonna let that one go, because if he's crit, I've got bigger fish to fry that aren't crit, and they'll probably be fried pretty soon. So P36G, these things they're going to be your bane. These things turn so well, and they have 50 cals. So if they're going to do anything, they're going to hit your oil. And again, as you can see, I haven't quite lost my oil yet, but I still need to watch it, because that cockpit area, anything in that center line of the fuselage, tends to get hit really quickly and really readily. Again, I'm starting to tussle with a P36, which is a really bad idea. You shouldn't be doing this. It's pretty stupid. But I'm going to do it anyway because I love the D5 Stuka. And it's one of those planes that you just, if you die, it's like, I don't really care. Next match, more memes, let's go. Not only that, it also has a slight, I guess, competitive edge at this battle rating where people aren't quite as familiar with the plane. Although, as you can see, I've been pretty badly beaten up by this P-36, and it's so hard to shake him. He's just sticking like glue. It is really, really hard. Until this moment here, that is when I get the upper hand. By using the air brakes and some throttle control and some flap control, I'm able to pull a fucking reversal. You can't write this, man. There's nothing better than getting a reversal in a D5 Stuka against a P-36, and then like committing to a head-on and narrowly avoiding the corpse of a P-39. To me, nothing beats this in War Thunder, and this is where the fun of War Thunder really is. Forget high tier, high tier's good, right? I love 7.7, I love 8.3, 8.7's alright, 9.0's okay, but for me, the real fun, the real gem of War Thunder is down here at 3.3 with the D5 Stuka, and, 5.7 and 4.3, 4.7, 6.3 for tanks. These battle ratings are so good. People overlook them because they're like, I want the high tier stuff. And of course, with content creation, it also feeds into the desire for people to reach that high tier stuff. And so it doesn't really get covered so often. I've done 2 other videos on the D5 Stuka. I'm pretty sure I've done 2. This will probably be the 3rd if I remember it correctly. But my God, this plane does not get enough attention. I guess if someone's watching that absolutely loves Fly, I get heaps of people who watch both Fly and myself. Ask for him to play the D5 Stuka, and I know Fly's been having some frustration lately, probably because he's been doing the marathon. I'm not quite sure, but the D5 Stuka is such a way to just offload stress and just have a good time. It's one of those planes that it's so good. I got a talisman for this plane from a box, and I have an ace crew as a result. It is number 13 out of all the planes that I have for air kills. That means it's basically above things like it is above the Hunter F6. I have more kills in that than I do, I believe, probably now more than the MiG-21 SMT, which I love to bits. That plane is so fun. It's still pretty good, even with the Phantoms in the game. But honestly, the D5 Stuka is just a different breed. It's just so enjoyable for all the weird and wacky reasons. It's such an underdog, but at the same time, it has that capacity to just absolutely smack someone in the face like that. And then you don't really care if you die. It doesn't really mean that much. That's 2 head-on kills in bugger all time, and you don't need to put in too much thought, too much effort. It's just one of those planes that you can play half asleep or drunk or anything like that. 5 very, very easy kills in the D5 Stuka. Again, I have 3 or 4 of these games where I have 5 or 6 kills in the D5. I don't always make it out alive, as you can tell most of the time, but you don't really need to get the most out of this plane. It's just one of those joys that you just should always give a try. Even if you don't like German planes, give it a go. Grind out to the D5 Stuka. Grind out those gun pods. Both gun pods work quite well, especially the one with 12 MG, I think it's 17s, I'm not quite sure. But do give that one a try. That is also hilarious. I have a video using both the 20mm pods and the 7.92 pods. Both of them are fantastic. Both of them are hilarious. And I honestly don't have any bad things to say about this plane. You think of it as some meme or some crappy old Stuka that doesn't really do anything, but you get into it and it defies all expectation and blows you out of the water, and you have an absolutely fantastic time doing that. What more could you want in a plane? For me, this embodies the perfect plane for War Thunder. It's the perfect plane for anyone who wants to have some fun. Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching. Do check out air models in the description below for a Stuka model. I'm pretty sure they got one. Anyway, take care, and I'll catch you next time.